And a Saudi court has actually sentenced now 5 people to death in the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Now, 3 other people have been sentenced to prison terms totaling 24 years. Khashoggi was, of course, killed inside the Saudi consulate here in Istanbul last October. His body has never been found. We will have more on that story at the top of the hour, but we are receiving some other details, including that Saud al-Qahtani has not been charged. He was investigated, authorities are saying, but he has been released. Now, he was considered the right-hand man of Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince, and many believe the orchestrator in part of this attack. We're being told that he's actually been released and that the Saudi consul in Turkey has also been released.
Now, a court in Pakistan has sentenced a former university lecturer to death for blasphemy. Junaid Hafiz was accused of making social media posts insulting Islam when he was a university lecturer in 2013. Prosecution lawyers celebrated the verdict by handing out sweets in the courtroom. The trial took place in Multan, a city in central Pakistan.
Well, most Pakistani human rights activists and organizations have categorically condemned the decision. They say it's a travesty of justice. There was no fair trial for Hafiz. He was accused like 6 years ago, and he was put in prison. He was in solitary confinement. There has not been any fair trial. So there are huge question marks about the trial.
Six-year-old Florence Widdicombe loves to send and receive Christmas cards, but chanced across one made in China which delivered the opposite of Christmas cheer. At first, the family had no idea what Florence had stumbled across.
It was really weird. I started chuckling and I thought that maybe it was a prank or something.
This is the card Florence discovered, with a message inside which read, "We are foreign prisoners in Shanghai Qingpu Prison, China, forced to work against our will. Please help us and notify human rights organisation." The message urged the finder to contact someone called Peter Humphrey without saying why.
I have seen the relevant reports in the British media. They are farcical, conjured up by Mr. Peter Humphrey himself. Mr. Humphrey needs attention from time to time for fear people will forget him or say sensational things like this. But what he made up this time is really a bit old-fashioned. I advise him to at least create some new tricks if he wants to be noticed. Here I can tell you responsibly that after learning from the relevant departments, there is no forced labor for foreign criminals in Shanghai Qingpu Prison.
Forced to flee yet again. Tens of thousands of Syrians in Idlib province have hit the road to escape the Damascus regime's advance. Its Russian-backed forces have seized dozens of towns and villages in recent days in Syria's last major opposition bastion. Vowing to take back the jihadist-dominated region, Damascus began to step up its bombardment in mid-December in an area home to some 3 million people. Its next target is the town of Marat al-Numan. Many will end up with little choice but to flee to Turkey. President Tayyip Erdogan is anticipating more than 80,000 new refugees, which he says Turkey can't cope with on top of the 3.7 million who have already sought refuge there.
Well, let's go back to our breaking news out of Algeria, where military chief Ahmed Gaid Salah has died of a heart attack at the age of 80. Amal Boubaker is a research fellow at the European Council on Foreign Relations. She joins us on Skype from Algiers. A warm welcome to you to the programme. Just explain for us, how significant is the death of Gaid Salah?
The death is crucial. It's going to shift any kind of scenario that was previously planned, being on the side of the army, of course, but also being on the new president's side, Tebboune, who has been placed at the head of the country by Gaid Salah himself.
A Taliban spokesperson says their fighters are responsible for an attack that killed an American soldier. This follows a statement released on Monday by the U.S. military, saying one of its service members was killed in action, but did not specify exactly where this happened in Afghanistan. Talks between Washington and the Taliban stalled after an attack on a U.S. military base earlier this month.
Martyrs Square, one of the key hotspots for protests that have been going on in Lebanon for more than 2 months now, was filled once again on Sunday. This peaceful demonstration called for the new Prime Minister, Hassan Diab, to step down.
We're protesting today because we're not convinced by their choice of new Prime Minister.
We will continue until all of the aims of the revolution, which is against corruption and against the authority that controls people's lives, are realised.
Protest leaders shunned an invitation on Sunday to enter into discussions with the new Prime Minister over the formation of his government. As a former government minister, Diab is seen as part of the country's corrupt political elite, accused of causing Lebanon's worst financial crisis in decades.